Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to today's Esoteric Influences for the 17th day of August 2020. I did not do this yesterday, and so I started this once and I grabbed Uruz, which was for yesterday. I'm going to put that aside and get Vunyo out because that's the rune for today. I wasn't able to do this yesterday because I didn't get internet back until late. We lost it Saturday because of a fire at a wrecking yard. There was some cars were on fire. It caught the neighborhood on fire, basically. And how much of it I don't know burned, but it was in the juniper trees. And I was up there just before you go into Bend. So maybe 15 minutes away from me, and so we were, there was no danger for our city, anything happening to our town or anything. But they had a level 3 go order, and so people had to evacuate right away, and some of them hung out, I guess, in the Lowe's parking lot, and because that was probably the biggest area. Home Depot's next to them, but they could probably see better from Lowe's. Anyway, it would have been across the highway from them, but I don't know why those cars caught on fire, but they did, and I mean, it was sketchy, but man, they were there right away and they got it handled. Problem is the cable company that handles my internet. I have DirecTV for television, but the cable company does my internet, and they could not get in. That message on their Facebook pages, they couldn't get in. It was too hot or too, they had to wait just to be able to go find out what happened to their equipment. And so I don't know if they were unable to deal with it until yesterday, but it was off until the afternoon sometime, and I'm not exactly sure when it came on because I was outside for a while, but it was back on, and then I had to, rewrite the stuff. I had to basically finish the newsletter at that point. I'd already pretty much written it out or fleshed it out, but then I had to make some changes, and so I was doing that, and so I just bagged doing the esoteric influences because I just wasn't ready, basically. So I'm sorry about that, and so I'm good. I started over because I got off track here, and I was doing Uruz for today, but that was actually for yesterday. So now I have the Vunyo here, and I won't be going, oh, this is Vunyo, and holding up Uruz. It's like, anyway. We have an 8 energy today for also which is kind of a dual effect because we have an 8-month, 22-year. We're going to pursue harmony with others as you continue to express yourself in a leadership role, align in common understanding and purpose, and follow a practical course of action. With 2 8s, you're talking leadership, you're talking, the spiritual warrior within. People are going to turn to you. And also to the new leadership that's emerging in the country. They're going to be turning to people like that to find solutions and to figure out our way forward through a really difficult time right now. So whether it's the collective stuff that we're having to deal with is trickling down to what you're doing in life right now, and this applies to that, or whether there's just some other things like maybe within your family structure, your neighborhood, or maybe work, maybe your leadership skills will be drawn out today. If you're on an 8 life path, which is a little bit different than it's found differently. It's the whole birthday that gets reduced to an 8. Oftentimes different than the day. I have a 9 life paths and we have an 8 day, so there's a good example. That's true for most. But if you have an 8 life path, it describes someone who's both practical and successful, particularly in business, and you also desire acknowledgement from others for the good works that you do. Makes sense. I know I always like to have recognition when I do something good, when I do something well, it's like, yeah, good job, Mom, or good job, honey, whatever. It's always nice, isn't it? Anyway, we have Vunyo as our rune, as I said, for today. It's comprised of Laguz, Isa, and Kenaz turned inward. So flow, alignment, and spirit, the expression of spirit informing all of your decisions and choices today and your behavior. It's an earth element rune. It represents joy, the wish rune, peace, fellowship, harmony, success, and happiness. So for today, happiness overflows as you embrace others in fellowship and joy today as wishes become reality or your dreams become reality. Wouldn't that be nice? positive thinking. Let's see, we have the moon in Leo right now, and you'll be the center of attention today with friends and family, and your warm nature influences everyone to join in the fun. A conjunction between the moon and Vesta promotes ritual as the perfect shared experience. So organize a party, online of course, and enjoy each other's company today. Now, in the human design section, we still have today the channel of awareness and openness today. It's going, I think on Friday we switched to another gate, I think is a channel of discovery. But that's just for one day. But right now, awareness and openness continue their dominating channel effect or energy. Think of it as the underlying energetic foundation for what's going on today. So you're talking, higher self-awareness. You're talking being open socially with others and all of that. Being willing to compromise and things like that. Just open to all kinds of things, change, new perception, all of that. But today you want to persevere, taking your cues from the current situation at hand. Maximize your success by maintaining balance within the chaos. Know that those around you recognize that your motives and intentions are pure and greatly appreciate your efforts. Move around obstacles if possible, even resorting to retreat a bit if it'll gain you a better advantage in the long run or in the future. Compromise might be necessary at this point, depending on what the situation is, particularly if it turns volatile, as opposed to receiving nothing at all. Again, it also could be a day for baby steps and just some progress along the path, where sometimes it feels like you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or 2 steps back and 1 step forward. I don't know. It just feels like you don't always get anywhere, and sometimes you have to just take what you can get, and there might be some of that today happening. So, do the best you can. But the problem is sometimes, and I guess what's come into my head right now has to do with when we're out and about and we're around people that aren't in masks. My husband and I, we're just people that I don't care where we are. I don't care if we're outside with people. We're going to have a mask on or something on. We don't appreciate it when other people don't. I know that they have seem to delineate between inside and outside in terms of safety, but I don't really think that there's a difference, in my opinion. Now, others may disagree with that, but I don't think there's a difference. I think that your breath goes where your breath goes, and if you're outside, you've got maybe a breeze, maybe full wind, and it doesn't scatter it into nothingness. It scatters it where it wants to go, whichever direction happens to be blowing. So if you're in the path of it, what does that mean? So for me, I don't feel comfortable being anywhere where there are people without having a mask on. And so the problem is when you talk about that with other people that aren't wearing them, sometimes it ends up being volatile and you get yelled at, and maybe you get attacked physically. There's all these things that we're reading about that are happening with people that just do not want to cooperate with this. And so I guess that's what I'm talking about. If there's a volatile situation, you kind of have to pick your battles maybe, and above all, stay safe. The last thing you need is to have some idiot come up and try to rip your mask off, or put his hands on you or her hands on you, or start coughing on you, or whatever dumb thing they want to do. I think that it reflects a real disconnect, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what is going on in people now and why they feel they need to do this. It's become such a grievance-based experience. It's become such an us versus them experience. And now here's just another way to manifest it. But my God, I read the other day, someone posted that the granddaughter came home, initially not ill, from school. They were all sent home because the child was positive. And then within a couple of days, she was exhibiting symptoms. And you got grandparents living in the house, and my God, they did everything right. And then they sent them back to school because they told them they had to go back to school. And now here they are. And it's pretty clear that the family, that it's going to go through the family. And So hopefully they could figure out a way to quarantine. Maybe the grandparents are in another dwelling on the property, maybe a trailer or something, or a little house, or whatever folks do these days when grandma and grandpa come to stay. But yeah, I hope that they've taken some precautions to protect the bulk of the family there. But it could run through the whole household, and Lord only knows what will happen. Hold your kids close. You know, if you can at all keep them home, then I say do it. I certainly would. I homeschooled, our family homeschooled for the last part of our kids' education, and it's doable, folks. It really is. And right now, I don't know. I think we've got to think safety first and protect those children. So anyway, something to think about today, and I'm going to go ahead and get started on the I think I forgot to turn on one of my lights. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune reading. So I'll look at this and then get it uploading, and then I'll start that, and have a great day today, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, wear a mask if you go out, and be the spiritual warrior that I know you all are, and blessed be.